coming out from KT right now. I think when you've got a Kalista, making up for it with a lot of range is a really good idea. And the Lovers duo does make some sense, but you do just play into getting mega outranged.
It's really interesting because I also think that the KT comp can actually... So there is a lot of poke with Jace and Nidalee, but Kalista and Silas and even Nico do need to go in.
Oh yeah.
There's also... I do find it very funny that Diablo's like, oh, Sion's on my team. I can lock in Sia now. It's fine. There's no way I'll walk into my own team's queue.
Yeah.
It's really fun because I did actually think that was a good Sia game outside of one of the most egregious.
That is then immediately dashed the week after. But when they win, golly, does it feel good. Let's dive onto the Rift for game 1.
Yes, known moderation.
Yeah, while I was moderating. Speaking of moderation, we're not using heal in moderation, and Parak is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Diablo may also be in trouble as Peter trying to get that kill back, but it does not work. And the Lovers duo, they just destroy Parak, and he has no way of doing anything. Doesn't flash, doesn't cleanse, didn't have a chance to.
I'm not sure about the cleanse. Atlas says, oh, BDD.
Oh man, that's a flash out from Vikla already.
This is...
Now it's odd. Still, Parak certainly struggling. BDD going to miss those chains and is then going to get punished for it, as we can see here.
I mean, if Vikla was a little bit earlier on his Eater, BDD just kind of dies.
Yeah.
Because the way his trading works is Cuz is just going to ensure that his mid laner gets to play the video game. Does spot Raptor here.
Yep. Also ensures that he can get himself... Okay. Chains are going to connect. He does get the buffer there as the wind becomes lightning and BDD becomes flashing. Cuz going to come in just to try and break up the fight.
Your life is very, very difficult.
Well, BDD coming on over. Raptor is still here, but Vikla is still dead. First blood goes over to BDD. And there is some assist gold that helps even out the trades.
You know what that is, Atlas?
Vikla was thirsty.
That is the... No, that's the play of a man... Oh, Padak.
Okay. Yeah, Padak is flashing this time around, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough as Peter doing what he can to try and protect his AD carry, but once again, Diablo does not go down nearly low enough.
Because went double scuttle. That's the play of a man that has lost too many games in a row. He will ensure that this one is a win.
Oh, the flash over the snare. That's what you need to do.
He has a co! Wait.
Peter struggling a little bit. As we can see, casting set up once again in this top lane as it's Kalista versus Sion in the bottom side of the map. As To The Skies comes on forward, Peter looks for a little bit more as Diablo gonna have to get out of there. The heal was invested by Kellen as Cuz is dashing around. I don't know whether pouncing back in there was a good idea, but he creates the distance. Peter comes in as well, and now Raptor just wanted to get out, did manage to get one of the grubs and flashes over the wall to safety. As Cuz will be able to continue exerting his pressure as, all right, the Sion leaves the station as Padak.
No, not again, not again, not again!
Solo killed by a Sion. It would be absolute travesty as the chains are going to connect. BDD has decided that he's winning this game. 100%. And Casting could be in trouble here, but before he goes down, he grabs the double. I can imagine that KT are going to be putting on a fair bit of respect here as, okay, never mind. Padak now in trouble, gets knocked up one more time, but the Blade Caller not quite going to work out. This time, the root connects. As Peter making his way in, this melee minion, so scary. And he lands the root, the chains are going to connect, and that gets the flash out of Vikla as clear. The unstoppable onslaught is indeed unstoppable, but Casting wants to kill him, not stop him.
The auspicious minion coming out of nowhere gets the flash from Vikla, and
I think
Casting.
it's a suspicious minion.
Isn't auspicious when it's like, he was Casting that went to demolish. I feel like BDD probably, because he is playing into a ranged matchup, probably just went to resolve classics, but who knows. I feel like BDD, with how he's playing right now, is actually trying to win free laser.
That's maybe exactly what we're going to get.
Oh, we're going to get a fight for sure.
A third grub was picked up here by Cuz. He's now just fishing to see whether Raptor is going to come on over and try and take these. And that spear just barely dodged out of the way of. He does want to join a fight as BDD comes in, steals away the quickness, but he's thrown out pretty immediately. Both quicknesses almost ran into each other. Oh, that would have been way too charming. Pop Blossom connecting onto two as Vikla is the one that's in trouble. Padak dancing around the fight. The spear is going to hit, but not do enough damage. As now they're just, oh, never mind, Cuz, have your license back. It's in the mail, don't you worry, it's okay, you feel free to drive. Feel free to drive, you can drive without it. None of the police are gonna pull you over. Absolutely beautifully done. Have a look at from his perspective as well, telling him to slow down, slow down.
해줄게.
And he's like, Q, got him.
잡고.
Whoa.
천천히.
You know what I do?
He's not going to be able to make it in game 2 because this is Fearless. All right, Weaver's Wall going to come on down as Puddock walks over to the other side. Peter may not be as lucky, but does have a Fate's Call, so never mind. Here's a great win condition for KT to look for. As they do have a 2,000 gold lead, they will have a monopoly on the Dragons as well, as this one does go down. Cuz has his license, and it's a Chemtech Drake. Ox is on the desk right now, and we can confirm that he is asleep.
Where's the cam?
Yeah, turret. And he doesn't really look like he's reacting to this. The spear going to connect once again. The empowered pounce going to come through. He gets booped out of the queue, and Clear now going to try and turn it.
To spare.
Yeah, thinking that this is going to be an opportunity. However, there is decided he didn't want flash. As Raptor's just going in. Okay, looking for Peter, seeing whether he can get something done as in goes Kellen, but misses the grand entrance completely. And out goes the Nidalee with the disengage cone.
There
now
it is.
Casting's coming down, but he's sandwiched. Pop Blossom only onto one as Kellen not going to get CC'd, and now BDD's teleported in. Raptor's going to die as Vikla comes on over. And it is going to be a dead Kalista on the back end, but he was already so incredibly low. Another quickness from BDD, and he's going to be able to stop the Q, but it does not matter. He's just right in amongst all of BNK and dies.
Oh, we were talking about, but that was a colossal mistake from BDD. Just ran into the Talia. Ian just kind of died. Imagine if he had flash.
It would have been way worse if he had flash.
Second item done now, and that is also the biggest individual gold lead that we do have.
And isn't that what System of a Down coined when they, you learn new things every day. As now, Kellen, Diablo, and Raptor all sieging. There's out of turret in the mid lane. KT, not a lot of options. And yeah, Arakan is just being taken.
So my call is that they knew that this was happening, but given the vision control that's towards the top side of the map, they just didn't think they could get anything. So in that light, getting mid lane turret does make sense. This is also...
Maybe they just have no idea that this is just being...
They definitely do.
Got it. And Unstoppable Onslaught's going to be walked around here by Casting, who's running real quick.
Ooh.
And able to get over towards Raptor, who does throw down the ulti. Cuz is going to make his way in and see whether he can get there in time. He gets the heal. The Primal Surge comes in, and now there's a Nico as well. Clear. Can he get out? I don't think so. He's still going to flash and has a turret still up.
Ended up saving his life. Nicely done there. Good evade on the gank. Unfortunately for them, again, Sign is really hard to kill, so they don't quite have the damage. As we now have no flash for Clear. I do think the flash for Casting is more valuable as
Kellen is quicknessing.
No
they
flash.
do get the knock-up onto Casting, but he boops Raptor away.
BDD?
Is that enough? That's the question, is BDD. The rocks are on cooldown. The rocks are on cooldown. They take down the Jesus. Peter finds the Pop Blossom to end all Pop Blossoms, and then is saved by Puddock. Still, KT need to find another angle. They're wrapping around from every single other one. But can they actually get in there? Can they start the fight that they're looking for? But they're playing with their range so beautifully. Puddock trying to stay alive, and he turns it onto Raptor. Vikla's going to go down. BDD is so incredibly low, but Diablo is untouched in the back line. 3 versus 3 now is the result, but Cuz is still there with all that long-range damage. And they are moving now towards KT's base. This ward here is so incredibly valuable as Cuz. He does spot it out. And now Clear could be in trouble. Puddock free hitting, not going to get knocked up, and he is just dead. The Zombie Scion is now going to be the result. And KT, when they do play it slow, it works. And Diablo,
as we say
maybe
that,
in a bit of trouble.
They're going to keep going.
Yeah, Kellen doesn't have the quickness, but he is still pretty scary. There's the pounce forward, and Cuz still looking for more. Raptor running real quick, and we don't find the route from Peter. Now back away, KT, please. Much higher numbers than I was expecting, as that is a nice route, but it's on to Casting. In goes BDD, as Raptor now having to deal with BDD with his own ultimate. Puddock is bouncing around the back of the fight, but Diablo once again untouched. Peter in a bit of trouble, but it's Raptor that's on the floor, and Diablo pulls back the feathers, but there's no follow-up. Puddock is a psychopath just dashing forward, and they take down Clear first. Puddock is in, then he's out, then he's back in again. He's got his eye. He glanced the rocks.
He did it.
Oh, that was gorgeous. And yeah, I don't know what happened to the guy at level 1. We're face checking.
KT.
The teleport to try and get one of them out of there. Yeah,
wait, you found recall.
And
no
the
way.
recall.
No way. No
They're going to get interrupted to the skies, ladies and gentlemen. And Diablo goes down. It's a double for Casting. I really thought they were going to get out there. That would have been exactly BNK versus KT energy. Instead, KT.
BNK, as long as KT respect that, I think they're cruising toward a victory here.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like as the poke is starting to come in as Clear. He goes for a bit of an engage as Raptor boops half of the team off the wall. As Peter, it's a great pop. Blossom Kellen going to be the first one to go down. Raptor also dead. BDD, he gets caught by the feathers, but there's no follow-up. And Clear's a tank, but it doesn't even seem to matter. The Featherstorm is decent as BDD flashes forward to look for Clear, and down goes Diablo. Peter, you don't have any damage. And so unfortunately, you're not going to be killing Clear here, but KT will be able to find the team fight.
He's zoning!
Yeah, there was some gorgeous. The first nail in their second game win of the season. And knock B&K down a peg or two as BDD goes in, man. It's good to see him rewarded for a phenomenal early game on this Silas. Rewarded by dying next to these dead Nexus turrets of his enemy. He realizes now, finally, he can rest as KT picks up a win.
끝내보자. 탈리아인 거 인지하고. 탈리아 노플이야, 그냥 물면 돼. 확인. 나 먹을게, 꿀. 나 먹을게.
탈리아 노플이래. 나 주냐 있어. 나한테 빨리 줘.
탈리아가
이거 잡는 게 나을 때.
탈리아 노플, 타워 개빨라, 형. 탈리아 노플, 천천히.
봐줘.
탈리아 노플이야, 나 뒤로 가볼게.
타워.
자오 나와서 천천히 먹게.
탈리아.
나 천천히 봐야지, 천천히. 타워부터 할게, 우리. 끝났어. 타워 깨나. 타워 칠래? 오케이. 잘 잡자.
And maybe pulled the trigger just a little bit too quickly.
The fact that Puddock did more damage than anyone on B&K just is really weird. Because they really put down this bottom lane so hard in the early game.
Peter did almost as much damage as everyone on B&K.
That's a really good point. that is probably the bigger takeaway.
I mean, credit where credit is due. I think their drafts have been very solid.
Poppy top.
What is casting going to play here?
That's less fun than Poppy top, but it would make a bit of sense. Fiora.
Oh.
We saw Fiora win. The Lord managed to take names on the Fiora, as that's Kale.
Yes, yeah, do that. Okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
Casting, we trust you.
Come on, Peter.
Really good game. No.
Oh, come on. No one likes it. Nah.
No.
Nah.
Well, I guess it's fine. It's definitely a lot safer.
Yep, and it makes the most sense, but it's way less interesting. It could have been Fiora or Kale.
You know what this is actually good for? Is the setup for a third game.
True. That being said, I think that, you know, if the Kale was picked, that would have been better setup for a third game. We would have got there much quicker.
That is true.
Unless we didn't, in which case it would have been very fun to see a Kale win. Didn't demonstrate as much of it in the LCK, but had some struggles. Obviously.
Lane Kingdom setup here for BDD. Early Scorch, Airy as well. Try and get as much damage as he can. And he did really get Vikla in game.
Wolf Camp as the full clear is going to be concluded. Vikla continuing to have some issues here as both flashes available with Vikla so incredibly low. Only a few more instances of, oh, never mind. Oh, Cuz actually able to get it. That's big.
Huge. Yeah. Pretty big, because it means that Raptor waits. Vikla is so low. He can flash W.
Yeah.
He can flash W!
Well, Vikla is going to get flash. Going to have to flash, sorry. As Cuz just said. But it was still a very well-loved situation.
Oh, no.
Well, her and Puffer, I'm pretty sure. As the all-out now going to get thrown away here. As Casting, speaking of throwing things away, does so against this Cassante. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Vikla going to try and keep BDD at bay. And Cuz looking to start off a dragon. The Void Grubs about to spawn as well, so it is just going to be a top and bottom side trade, but we know that the dragon teams are often feeling a bit better.
Can Peter be in time? I don't think so.
Well, they're going to see what they can do.
Oh, yeah, they're waiting for Raptor, which means that there is actually time, and the wave is already thinned out.
Yeah, in they go. Grasping Roots comes down as now Peter gets on in there. Stranglethorns through as well as the Ignite's ticking, but it's not enough. Always drink your potions as Raptor, you absolute insane man, as the True Shot Barrage doesn't do enough, but still Diablo taking matters into his own hands is going to be able to get it done.
Access to that is we have another Raptor gang.
Yeah, him and Kellen making their way in. There's the flash, then it's played. The headbutt pushes Kellen back as there is no unbreakable will. And so Peter will instead be broken. There's a nice pick up there for B&K as the hop out from Casting. He's just kind of messing with Clear right now. That sidestep, gorgeous. as Casting's Gnar play looking scrumptious.
He's easy carry this now, so Potic will be able to make his way.
Ooh,
There it is.
Divide. Grasping Roots comes down as well. BDD just getting comboed to death. Does flash away. They get the flash, and that ult's going to be back off cooldown a bit fast. Fun of the pick, but actually it was probably a good idea as the stun comes through. Another headbutt pole as the Ignite is down. Kellen is going to be taken first. The Stranglethorns does basically nothing as the Chaos Storm used in tandem just made sure that there was no way.
They couldn't utilize. Clear had his, whereas Casting didn't, but Casting kept the wave, shoved up,
for the
and
moment.
was sitting.
These three are put together. Kellen will be able to spot out Cuz as he moves on over towards his Raptor camp. All right, Cuz just getting himself out. Flash invested.
Back yet. Could have been doing a turret, but...
Well, Potic going to cleanse the Solar Flare. Chains of Corruption as the flash forward from Raptor goes straight into those chains, but sandwiched Varus is concerned. They're generally considered cheaper, so it's subpar to say the least. As Cuz just going to get chain CC'd here. There's the Stranglethorns. Heartbreaker gets him out of there eventually. As thankfully he bought the Merc Treads. Otherwise, I think he was just definitely dead.
Building upon the lead. Peter Doe looking to punish.
Kellen gets spotted out. Solar Flare is going to be on where BDD used to be. And Kellen might actually be sacrificed here. They still do manage to pick up the Rift Herald, but KT once again put Kellen in the ground.
Whoa. I'm not sure. What exactly are KT doing? I'm not so sure. We'll have to see. Might still just go for a delayed contest as Potic takes a free headbutt to the face.
Yeah, he's Diablo able to drive Shelly into this tower, and it does go down. Vikler and Diablo a fair bit of structural damage.
They're taking Dragon, KT.
Yeah, and you spent a lot of time positioning around here, KT, and you've decided you're not going to go in. Hex flash forward here from Peter. Try and find an angle. Let's see whether they can actually get one, as that is the Drake secured by BNK, but now the fight is on. Vikler in a bit of trouble. Chaos Storm being dealt with, but now Diablo gets his fangs into BDD. Misses a whole bunch of abilities, though. And once again, Kellen's on the floor. Now Diablo finds himself the target instead of the attacker because he gets a turn on him. Has a great ulti, but does get himself out. True Shot Barrage doesn't go the right way to lock down the Viego.
I know. That's how every team fight in this game has been.
Well, it's Voracious Otacon, so we've had a little bit more action this game. That certainly feels good. Oh, actually, less action this game.
Yeah, I would.
Never mind. So that feels bad. I was just trying to find a positive, and that was going to be a positive until I got it completely wrong. But now, we might have another team fight as Diablo going aggressive, throwing out a whole bunch of buttons towards Peter and Cuz, who are now very, very low. But Cuz is still in range to smite this. It's still a 50-50. This could still be a disaster as in they go, and it's locked down by Raptor. Peter now in trouble. Diablo going completely ballistic as they get themselves the Otacon as well as more. As now Casting looking to send them all home, but instead he's going to give a triple kill over to this Ezreal, as Potic could be in trouble, but they don't have the vision on him. KT when he was 1.5k gold ahead, and now it's way worse. So
you know how you have the expression, all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
Diablo's a great basket.
He is a pretty good basket, as there is another cleanse out from Potic, and you can't cleanse death, unfortunately, so it doesn't quite do enough. Casting now trying to deal with Raptor and Diablo, as a nice double pulverize there from Peter, but he has no friends, and there are 5 members of BNK closing in on this bottom lane as Diablo, he does still have the Otacon buff, and my god, that Arcane Shift was so good. Cuz tries to heartbreak him, and he just gets withdrawn. He is behind. CS advantage by 20 though, so there is at least that. As yeah, this is the big problem scenario, and we can see it demonstrated on your screen. Do about it. I thought that Mystic Shot missed, but Potic maybe walked into it by accident there. As BDD being very vocal in the player cams, and you can understand why. This guy has had a pretty good game. As teleport in from Vikler. Clear is extraordinarily low, though, as the Gnar bar has been filled. The all-out does come through here, as that wallop onto 2 is fantastic. He Gnars them both away, but it's just too many.
Cuz get a free Baron smite off. I don't think there's a way to lose this game.
Well, there's Pulverize from Peter, but I think he's the one that's going to get pulverized. He does have the Unbreakable Will, but it's looking very breakable.
Well, that was cute. You tried to use the plant to taxi out. Yeah, that's cute.
Was cute. It didn't work.
Can be hit. Just keeps going in.
I think a piercing arrow landed. BDD is actually hitting a bunch of these death rays, but the Baron is still just going down. And Cuz, 1 versus 2 here, and he's going to have to heartbreak away. He does do so, but he's, even with Flash, is still dead. Casting looking for a bit of an angle. The Baron is going to be secured. And BNK now looking to wrap this up with a team fight as well, as KT trying to get the damage down. It's a decent crush to get Casting out of there. Vikler attempts to go on over as the Chaos Storm coming on through, but Clear is just so tanky. And Diablo is going to be able to find Peter once again. He was fresh out of the death chamber and immediately back in there again. And KT, I mean, we knew this was going to be a 3-gamer.
Diablo?
But this, yeah, Diablo is just messing with them now. Another one, Arcane Shift over, misses a bunch of buttons, but he'll have another one as Paddock just charges up a Q and it just does pitiful amounts of damage. Beautiful grasping roots. Yeah, this is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Emperor's Divide is going to hit the cow, and Peter walks it off. Vikla goes golden because he thinks it looks cool, and it does. In onto himself, they'll take this inhibitor turret. The rest of KT, they are grouped. They're looking for an angle. The Stranglethorns, though, is going to block off Peter from the rest of his team, and Diablo is going ballistic. Nexus turret's now under fire. BDD does use his Zhonya's, and Kellen and Vikla are taking a fair bit of damage, but honestly, it just doesn't matter, as the True Shot Barrage is going to destroy this Viego. Diablo, what was that? That was super strange, but never mind. Nexus turrets are still going to lie on the floor, as Vikla, he's flashing, he's looking for more. He takes down BDD and Paddock, and the Nexus will fall, and B&K will bring us to a game 3.
야, 세게 해봐. 바로스 노플. 이러면? 바로스 노플이야. 궁극해. 공 봐봐. 여기까지만 해야 돼. 여기까지만 해야 돼. 천천히. 야, 타워 치면 끝나. 타워부터 쳐볼게. 빅토르 노플. 빨리는 거 봐, 빨리는 거. 빅토르 볼게. 빅토르 노플. 야, 타워 깨면서 해야 돼. 타워 깨면서. 괜찮아, 나 이거. 피해고 봐. 괜찮아. 봐줄래? 이제 봐줘. 타워 쳐봐. 잘해야겠는데? 천천히 하면 끝났어. 또 리바울게. 끝났어. 들어오는 거 봐. 끝났어. 빨리까지.
Wow.
They played it well. Yeah, that's
That's a lot of damage.
yep. All eggs in the right basket.
Absolutely. Diablo, absolutely phenomenal game. I think some people thought he was Diablo 4, but I think he's Diablo 2. I'm not entirely sold, because it does feel like it's all in on a style of comp that we've seen not really work without a big snowball, as the Galio is going to be locked away here for Vikla. So this is a get behind the Diablo and Raptor train, and that honestly has been exactly the game plan that's won games for B&K FureX. Really beautifully constructed here as far as the teamfight comp is concerned.
This is also a dream game to play MF. You know, sometimes we look at MF comp and we go like, I don't know, literally everyone has set up for Diablo. Every single person. And two of those are arguably the best setup in the game. Rel is completely bonkers. Raptor, with his ultimate, completely crazy. And then you even have Galio to keep you safe. The strength of their players, I like it a lot.
Yep, and I think a lot of people have been critical of Ryu as well recently, so he's had a phenomenal day here today. We have to pay him his due. Let's hop onto the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 3. How much do you like prediction?
No, how this is all a big constructed psyop to make people believe I actually care.
I'm just going to interrupt you for a second because there's a bit of a skirmish happening.
Nah,
I know you were saying a thing.
It's not leading to anything.
Okay.
I think 0 for 2. He also looked for one on Vikla, but that one we weren't really expecting to hit us. Yeah, here we go.
Yep. We're fighting on a couple of fronts here. That's going to be the way we're playing this out. As Paddock finds the ward onto Diablo. Yeah, and he's stacking it up here. That's a brilliant cocoon, and now the Ignite is down. This is what you were talking about. They can go in on Kellen. Paddock's flashing forward. He finds the first blood, the revenge of the Psyduck. You love to see it. As BDD is winning in the mid lane, who would have thought? But this was the unexpected outcome of this game.
It's the redemption moment there for Paddock after 2 really rough laning phases. This needs to happen.
Oh, yeah.
First things first. This is what's supposed to happen. Key thing there, I think, is that Kellen actually got his...
it just gets solo killed by BDD.
Cute there from BDD.
Oh, man.
It was like, oh my god, thank you. Thank you. That bot lane is finally winning. You know, it's my third game in solo queue in a row. And finally I got a winning bot lane.
There you go.
As in they go. Khaled, as I mentioned, if he doesn't actually get to steal a lot of resistances, doesn't have Aftershock, he is squishy.
Oh dear. Kellen.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. In a lot of trouble here as he's trying to make his way over towards this turret. Casting's looking to try and get it on in there, but there goes the
They can dive clear.
Yeah. And now it's all set up.
They can dive clear.
Paddock's going to turn up. Clear is wondering what the heck he's supposed to do here as the Spiderlings are also in. Diving this is so easy. Cuz going to be able to back away, and in fact, they have so many champions that are so good at diving turrets. My God, and just doing his very best to keep as much pressure up as possible. Throws out the ulti, in fact, as he looks for the charm. Flash comes out from Vikla. He is terrified of this Fox Lady. And first Drake is going to be going over to BNK actually here, as Cuz is prioritizing the grubs instead. So the first Cloud being picked up as, oh God, every time an ability flies forward, I get scared that Vikla is just going to die again.
Vikla will go like, oh, don't try to cancel. Don't do it.
Ooh, casting. Going to be able to find the full combo here onto Clear. He gets the shield. I don't think he's going to die just yet, but the fear of God well and truly in him.
Yeah, Aatrox's cooldowns at this point a little bit too early. He can lose.
Oh, we're going to go wide as now Peter realizes that there is no one else here.
If they had vision, he would be dead.
Oh, he should
or at the very least would have flashed us.
Instead, Cuz going to make his way in. Diablo will get stunned up, but only momentarily, as Peter will find that cocoon, and BDD is going to pay a visit. Kellen going to get taken down as there's the bullet time. Peter says, not even close, baby. And now, Raptor making his way in. There is a dead BDD. And so Vikla does get a little bit of revenge, but...
And then the sleep comes through as all casting. Reinforcements are on the way, but he might be dead.
Let's see. He is trying his best, and he is Aatrox. He has World Ender, finds the double Q with the second one. Lands the third as well. He's still going to get thrown around. Let's see whether he can get himself out. The flash is going to be employed. That will get him to safety. Finds another knock-up.
Well, we have evidence of that.
Yeah, if you don't go slow enough, then maybe he's going to be a bit mad at you.
Really? Is there anyone on this KT2? Like, do you see Peter? No, he's a mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah. BDD? No.
No, it's all vibes.
There's definitely been days where I didn't do anything today. I guess you always just by existing.
Well, then maybe you learned that by not doing anything.
I guess we're cooked.
Yep. Cuz looking for an angle, and the arrow is going to fly down. The Magnus Storm is going to eat a lot of the CC, but I think the KT are going to eat Kellen. And that is indeed what happens. That is a Rel very swiftly dispatched of, as Puddock looking to make his way down once again. Diablo going to try and get him out of here, but Puddock's actually pretty strong, as we know. And so happy to stand his ground. Raptor going to move on over. There's the flash, and Diablo just gets solo killed by the Ashe. He does immediately go down, but he's got Peter here to try and defend, who is a support.
The sacrificial horse remains in place. As Puddock, there's a wave. You're using your flash for this. This was not even a little bit worth.
And also, why the flash?
That's not a great
He does have a 2-level lead as Peter manages to find the cocoon. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, as Clear is taking a lot of damage. Cuz is at full health, and BDD comes over, finds the Orb of Deception, and down goes the Rel once again. Oh, I feel like Kellen's been the butt of every joke this game.
Leave Kellen alone!
Oh, it's so mean.
Guess what happens? Kellen dead.
Yeah, Kellen dead.
Try to kill Diablo in a 2v2. Believe it or not, again.
Kellen's dead.
Kellen's dead.
Oh,
he's just Kellen.
He is. He's just trying to be a horse, or at least metal pants that turn into a horse.
The other issues in this game, but that one, that's like a write-off. You can just, it's like when you
oh dear. Well, BDD is going to charm Raptor, and there's the cocoon as well. Oh, Peter with the follow-up. Absolutely beautiful. Vikla now trying to get something back onto Cuz.
I don't think we should.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. As another Spirit Rush. We're looking for some more essence here for this Ahri. Remember, there's no inner turret. And so the flash forward from Cuz, not punishable. And he's going to block the Justice Punch. There is, in fact, no justice for BNK here.
Peter, no!
Peter is looking to just kill Kellen before he inevitably dies, and he's not going to be able to do that.
I think just try to CC as Clear is very...
Oh, the public execution was cute.
The taxi out?
Yeah, gets over towards Puddock, though, and he permanently slows him. Wow, that burst damage.
Wait, the turn?
Yeah, there's the 2-man taunt coming through from Vikla, and immediately it is a dead Puddock. BDD comes in, though, and now Peter is going to turn up. Vikla getting taken down solo, Cuz an absolute raid boss before he dies. And now BDD is getting the resets. Raptor trying to survive, but he gets charmed up and destroyed. And we said, give BDD a carry he can 1v9 on.
Which is really bad. For the in case you're not that adept at math, that's not good for your taxes.
Oh, thank you.
That's really bad news.
I'm not very good at taxes. Paddock is going to get the interrupt here onto Diablo, and BDD is just going to look for the charm, and they kill him before the heroic entrance comes in.
Going to make about BDD and the POM comment. I'm going to join in the fun. You know? I'm going to try and get a different flavor of it.
Okay. As Casting is going to get ganked, or is he? Kellen's going to turn up, but a little bit late as the sleep comes through, public execution comes down, and Casting will die, but at what cost? The Otacon is going to be taken, Kellen almost dies, and BDD is taking an inner turret, or at least attempting to. Will pick up a teleport for his trouble, and the teleport of his own is going to get him towards that top lane while the rest of his team do deal with this Otacon. And that's going to be a bunch of flowers. In fact, just goes up and down. That was an odd one. BDD looking for the angle, doesn't find the charm or the Orbit Deception, but you blink and you miss it. As Cousin Vikla doing battle, BDD now seeing whether he can take down a gargoyle as the arrow sails by. Looked good, didn't do anything. Yeah, clear. Can he find a public execution angle as the Magnastorm onto 2? Flash out from Paddock as he gets sleepy but has the cleanse, and they should be able to get rid of Cuz. Casting has made his way in with that teleport, but he's now on the wrong side of the fight. Oh God, KT, this is so incredibly awkward. Everything's sort of missing here as now Casting looking for his opportunity, looking for his angle. The bullet time, though, is going to be thrown over the top of the Aatrox, but he's pretty fed, to be perfectly honest, so it doesn't do very much damage. Now looking to go down, and there it is. It's clear that locks up the kill.
This alone, not enough to make me not believe, but it is a little worrying.
Well, there is the charm, immediately followed up by the cleanse.
I can't believe he cleansed that and still lost 60% of his health.
I feel like every time anyone gets tagged by a slow, they're about to die. In Vikla's case, that was indeed what happened.
Who am I voting for again? Oh, Cuz!
Oh, Cuz! Maybe it's Cuz! He's just gonna, man drop in and say, have you heard that cool song? It's raining man.
But no dice as...
Yeah, Cuz just pops in. Thanks very much.
That was clean, by the way. Like the Q smite there, that was what, like 1600 health?
There was absolutely no way they were going to do anything about it. Shattering Strike not going to do anything, and very, very dead is Kellen. Now clear, could be in trouble. Casting on top of him, Vikla looking for an angle as the sleep comes down onto 2, but Cuz, no one could follow up on that one as in goes Casting, finds a huge double knock-up, the bullet time to try and answer, but there's a cocoon from Peter. Get this man! The POM is a double kill on a volley from Paddock is so good, and of course, Peter finds another one, the volatile Spiderling, another volley for a kill, and KT.
This is Atlas.
Oh, in goes Cuz, taking up 2 Nexus turrets, but it's all just to kill Kellen. There goes Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2 to follow, and a 3rd Nexus for KT to claim will get them their first match win of LCK 2025.
His impact on this team and the impact he's had since he's come back to the LCK cannot be overstated. Like that call-up, I think, goes crazy hard.
Yep. And this was Kellen's early death in this team fight, as I think we were denied an ace because he respawned a little bit too fast. But this 2-man sleep, I think that was a large reason why KT just realized they could go in. This double knockup from Casting, absolutely gorgeous. But look at Peter. He finds the bullet timing Diablo in the backline with a flash cocoon, and he's surrounded by the rest of his teammates.
You know you have a good game when Atlas is like seriously considering not voting for BDD, but for you instead. That's how you know that you had a banger.
I don't know, voting for Peter is so easy, isn't it? I mean, he's just so lovable.
It is, I know. You know, if Veldis was here, he would have grabbed the paper out of my hand.
Oh, yeah.
Put in the Peter vote.
He would have. He would have. The biggest Peter fan that we have.
Yeah. And that's hard, because he's a challenger player. But Veldis outdoes me.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by BDD on the side of KT Rolster. Congratulations! You finally earned your first win. How do you feel? No, we had to win today's match, and I'm just really relieved that we were able to win. And in this series of losses, you worked so hard, both personally and as a team, according to an interview. So what approach did you have for today's match? You know, we hadn't had enough practice with the current roster. And I think practice did go well, But it didn't really reflect how we did on stage and on the official matches, so that was what really left a lot to be desired. And what was challenging about playing against BNK PRX today?
뭐를 해야 되는 그런 상황이 와야 되는
No, there were some moments where you had to wait until you find the right moment to actually make gameplays and actually create some moments where you can actually have some action in game. And what kind of feedback did you get after game 2? I think we mainly focused on talking about the draft instead of the actual in-game happenings. So in game 3, you got your early game solo kill, and we noticed how bright you looked after getting that solo kill. So what crossed your mind in that moment? You know, during the laning phase, I just kept thinking about how we just cannot lose. So I think that's why I was so happy when I got the solo kill.
이렇게 해서 첫승 신고에 성공을 하셨습니다. 정말 많은 팬분들이 기다리셨을 순간일 텐데 이제 연승을 노리실 것 같거든요.
So many of your fans have been waiting for this moment for this first win. And next, you will play against OK Savings Big Brian. What resolution do you have? You know, I think we're really having an optimistic mindset, so I hope that you guys can continue supporting us. Thank you so much. And that's the end of the interview with BDD, and back to the space. Thank you.